With travel insurance, it really varies from person to person. What I would say is that you need to assess the level of risk when you are traveling. So, for someone who's traveling inside of Canada, the need for travel insurance isn't that high. If you get sick in Canada, we've got universal healthcare, that's probably covered. If you were to get any type of travel insurance in Canada, it would be, especially the way things are right now, maybe something that if your bags get lost, the valuables inside of that are covered. And then you might want to get something, if their trip gets canceled unexpectedly, you would get reimbursed for that, because otherwise, we all know that flights are really expensive in Canada, especially if you're flying to some more remote locations. So if something happens where that trip does get canceled, you'd probably want something where you get compensated for it. You probably want something to replace your valuables if they get stolen or damaged or whatever the case may be. But other than that, inside of Canada, there isn't a huge need for travel insurance. If you're traveling abroad, all bets are off. I would say that everybody should get something, especially if you're going to the United States, because if something happens, you break a leg, you get sick, you need to go to the hospital, whatever the case may be, it may literally cost you an arm and a leg. Not actually, but the fact of the matter is medical care in the United States is extremely expensive. So getting something covered if you're traveling anywhere in the United States is something I would highly recommend. And then if you're traveling abroad, you need to assess what the cost would be to pay out of pocket versus what the cost would be to get some type of travel insurance. So, if you're going to somewhere, where the medical costs might be low, but then you have to look at also what the quality of care would be there, and if there's a real emergency where you might need to be flown back in an emergency situation to Canada for healthcare or somewhere else, then there's an even bigger cost and expense. So I would say the minor amount that you have to pay for the period of time that you're traveling, whether that is a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever the case may be, it's probably better that you get some type of travel insurance for a few $100s that could cover you in case any of this stuff happens, than having to pay out of pocket tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars, should there be like a catastrophic situation that happens. And once again, you can get something where lost baggage is covered, where trip cancellation is covered, and you can kind of have it all into one package. So that's what I would say if anyone's planning to get travel insurance. I think if you're getting it within Canada, it may not be necessary, but if you're going outside of Canada, travel insurance, I would say, is a big must.